Welcome to Eldest Daughters Diaries Podcast. We are so glad you're here. This is a community forward space where we, Kanisha and Crystal, two eldest daughters from different cultures and backgrounds, share our candid experiences as eldest daughters. There will be intimate shares, honest storytelling, and most of all, encouragement and inspiration and lots of love for our fellow eldest daughters who are changing the world each and every day by being themselves. And we love that, and we love you. Today's topic
As you
is prioritizing our health, specifically prioritizing our health at 40.
enough said.
Yeah.
And before we dive in today to this very vast and deep topic, we do want to give just a gentle heads up and content warning. There will be a mention of health, body, and medical hardships and trauma in this episode. This topic carries a lot with it. So if you are not in the headspace to explore this topic right now, you can always come back to it. And please be gentle with yourself if you're listening from the US and likely other places too. Just each of us have been through a lot in the medical system. So please just proceed with care. Okay. It's also important to note that we are not therapists, counselors, or the like. We're not doctors. We're not giving medical advice by any means. We're simply sharing our lived experiences as eldest daughters, learning how to care for our health, some stories that come with it, and definitely encouragement to take care of you. We hope that in sharing that you walk away just feeling a bit more connected with each other on this topic that is just very complicated and complex. Okay, so we're glad you're here. And this is definitely an important conversation to be having. Both Kanisha and I come from a similar background of just having to learn how to prioritize our health kind of as we went. I don't know that we had like a ton of like health focused guidance growing up. So coming to it has been
Well,
a little messy along the way, a little haphazard trial and error. And our bodies really, at the end of the day, teaching us a lot
yeah,
and bringing us back home to ourselves.
yes. I left my fro out today just for that because a lot of time
Mm.
I have dealt with like health issues. And earlier this year, I met with hair specialist and she let me know how my hair lets me know everything that's going on with my body.
Oh,
Did you know that?
amazing. No, I didn't know that part of it. I knew what you learned from her
Yeah.
with hair and scalp and everything, and it sounded incredible.
Yeah.
But that's so insightful. That's amazing.
Yeah, like a strand, like she took a strand of my hair in the back and tested it, and it gave me what I've been missing, like nutrient wise, and what I can do to, bring some more nutrients into my body as well as my hair. But a lot of the symptoms that I was having, especially with my hair, is from my medication. It's from medication that our doctors are giving us.
Oh
Yeah,
my goodness.
yeah,
Whoa.
and
What
I
was
know
that like to find out?
they give us the prescriptions and, the side effects and things on there, I really kinda push to the side, but once you really sit and read them side effects, it made sense to me. It made sense to see
Mhm.
my hair loss is coming from the metformin and helping things. I mean, and the things that I'm eating, I'm not getting enough nutrients to provide my hair growth or provide healthier hair. And for background, I've been dealing with diabetes and PCOS. So back in 2020, like everybody else, was in the house and I was eating whatever, drinking whatever. And I went to the doctor and my doctor said my A1C was a 6.6, which is not bad, but it is considered diabetic, pre-diabetic. And so from there, I began metformin, taking medicine to bring my A1C down. But I also had to start prioritizing my health. I had to get outside and start walking and eating right because I didn't want anyone to have to take care of me, but also I am an adult now. I have to take care of myself. Who like my mother and my father They have their own thing,
Totally.
but we are adults and we have to put our health first because that triggers so much more around us, right?
Mhm.
And so
And it can be a tough wake-up call.
it really was, like, finding out about the
Yeah.
diabetes and then, like, telling family, and they're like, "Oh, well, Big Mom got that," and it's like, I understand that they had that, but where does it end? Where do those cycles
Mm,
end within our community, within our generation, within our families? And so, through 2020, 2021, 22, I was working out, doing what I needed to do for myself, and I felt really good about it. I was losing weight. I had a little dump truck. I was good. I brought my A1C down, which I was really proud of. But in bringing my A1C
amazing.
down, I started having, when I did core work on my stomach, I could feel like a pain. Come to find out, it was fibroids. I had fibroids at the top of my uterus where I had to have a robotic myomectomy. And so I'm saying that because a lot of times women, we do not talk about fibroids, PCOS. That is something that
Mhm.
I've been feeling more called to do because it happened to me, and I'm not the only one that I know that has had these. I've just been
Yeah.
diagnosed. And so getting back, I really had to make like changes in my diet, changes in what I eat, how I eat, what I drink. And so over time, since 2020 now to 2025, I've had so many different changes with like eating wise as well as my body that I'm getting more comfortable with who I am, what I want to do with like my body and things like that. But I wanted to ask you, what issues have you dealt with your body? Because I know a little bit, and I know you really like stepped in with helping me with like my procedure and things like that, which I totally, totally appreciate, by the way. I do want to say that.
Of course.
How have you prioritized your health, especially at being 40?
Yeah, wow.
That's a
It's a
lot.
huge, it's a huge question for all of us to reflect back on, like, regardless of what age you are. I guess, like, I have to go back a little bit because growing up, like, as an athlete, as a dancer, fueling my body was super important. And I think, my parents just did the best that they could, but and I think of all of the ways that like we could have been fed as kids. Like we were on the great end of the spectrum because my mom really did her best to cook homemade meals.
Yes.
And I see the value of that in me as an adult because that's my first call is to go make food. Learning to evolve the food over time with more vegetables and like just learning about how to feed your body was really important because, as a kid, I had some things of like, I started to not be able to see the chalkboard as well. And then
Wait, the
I
chalkboard?
also, when I was, yeah, and in school.
Really?
Yeah, I couldn't see the chalkboard from the back of the classroom, like, it was fuzzy, so I
Interesting.
needed glasses.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But that kind of I don't know. It's just interesting. I think this evolution of learning to take care of ourselves, it's also important to, like, just objectively, as much as you can, examine the mindset around health that you had growing up, because a lot of things were just pushed off. "You'll be fine. It'll be alright." It was almost a little bit of gaslighting, like disconnection of
Mhm.
listening to my body because it wasn't taken seriously.
Yeah.
So that's a really bad habit to have learned when it comes to down the road when things started to escalate and my body was like throwing signals and flags up and I was just breezing by them because I just didn't know to listen to it. I didn't even if I did, what would I do about it? Like I didn't know
Yeah.
that like I didn't know the chronic stomach issues that I had that one doctor just slapped on the band-aid, called it IBS, was actually a severe gluten issue, severe stress, right? Like
Oh, I remember the
dysbiosis,
gluten.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, issues with my gut in general, just gut health, which a lot of us have, especially in the US. So it's just like all these signs along the way that kept like cranking louder. My body's like, girl. over here, over here. And
Mhm.
I'm just like, man, let's go party. Let's go to happy hour. Let's not sleep.
And then you get
And
home and you
then,
just shooting everywhere. I'm
oh
sorry.
my God,
But I get it.
it
That's
was
why I said it.
terrible. No,
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Kenesha, like my whole life at one point in my late 20s circled around making sure that there was a bathroom close by. Going into the restaurant and like having it in eyesight. Like
Yeah.
just because it was so unexpected when I was having I didn't know how to track like when I eat this, then that happens in my body and I feel like utter crap. Like I didn't know how to do that and like trace it backwards. So I was just kind of a victim. And I used to say, like, my stomach hates me,
Yeah.
but like it couldn't have been further from the truth in reality that my stomach was actually saying, so us girl, like we need help. Stop giving us the stuff that's just like making us sick.
Yeah.
But I didn't know. So that's where it kind of started is with the stomach stuff. And then that evolved into like chronic migraine issues and like autoimmune things, which when I look back on it and once I started getting intel about what was happening and how a lot of this had to do with my lifestyle, like similar to what you were sharing,
Yeah.
of not sleeping, severe stress, having no tools to manage stress at all, let alone like family dynamics and codependency and overperforming at my job when it really wasn't necessary and then not sleeping. Like it was just this whole loop I was on. Oh, yeah, like I said, it's a big question because there's been so many things along the way, but the way that I regard it now is that my body is talking to me all the time.
Yeah.
And it's my honor to listen to her because every single time she was spot on.
Mhm. Oh, yeah,
I
your
just
body
had to learn her
knows.
language,
The
right?
body knows
Every time.
every time, and that's something that I really had to learn was to listen to my
Yep.
body. Like,
Same.
traveling and going to the gym and doing this and doing that, you had to I wanna say you, I had to really just kinda hone in. It's like, "Oh, I'm having this pain, I'm doing this," I need to sit down somewhere, or even earlier this year, I had issues with my stomach before my party. I think we talked about it a little bit.
Yes, I
That
remember.
I was having some issues with my stomach and just like constipated and couldn't do anything. I know this is maybe too much. And to reel it all in, I literally had to like think like, okay, what is causing this to occur? Medication. I'm taking iron pills every day, which does cause constipation. I'm
Oh,
not
got
eating
it.
correctly. Also, that means I'm not getting the nutrients that I need to filter out the constipation
Right.
and then dehydrated. I was drinking water, but I wasn't drinking enough water, if that makes sense. And so I had
Mhm.
to start incorporating the Celtic salt, to help, flush some of and now it's like I use that every time. Like I got my chlorophyll and my water with the Celtic salt in here. And, with with listening to your body, it comes with a lot of accountability. Like, yeah, you can't eat McDonald's or you can't eat gluten. You have to be
Mhm.
accountable for what you eat and how you eat because part of getting older is taking care of yourself and learning how to do that is going to the doctor, making those appointments to go to the
Mhm.
doctor, to go to a nutritionist, a specialist to help you figure out what is happening with your body and how you can maintain it. And
Yeah.
I really admire you because I think I may say it wrong, but you have a holistic doctor. You've gone to the
I do a functional medicine doctor.
functional medicine, that's what they call it. Okay. I was like, that's not what it's
Yeah.
called. But even that is outside of what a lot of people, especially Black people, because a lot of times we don't wait till the last minute to kinda deal with our health, and so that is something that I'm like, that's something I need to kinda look into or hone into.
My gosh. I am so blessed to have crossed paths with my functional doctor. And for context for everybody, if you haven't heard of functional medicine before, I think, and this is my layman's turn,
Mhm.
layman's way of
Fair.
summarizing it, but if you have Eastern medicine, so like things like traditional Chinese medicine, and things just from like the ancient arts of knowing the body. And
Mhm.
then you have Western medicine, which for all, I mean, it's effective for sure in some lanes, but it's also void of the holistic picture. In the middle is functional medicine, where it's taking the full 360 view of your health history, all of the things you're experiencing in your body that you wouldn't even know to say, but it's there on the checklist. And it gives the doctor a fuller view, including medications you're on and supplements you're on, what kind of lifestyle you have, what are you eating kind of vibe. And it gives so much more intel into what the next steps are to even figure out specifically for your context what to test. And then with the testing, there's an analysis that comes back of like, this is why this is happening. This is over here. And we should look at this, but this is going really well. It's just a level of detail that Western medical blood tests are not going to give you. Because part of my issue, part of so many of the things that I've been dealing with in my body is that I'm not sick enough
Mm.
to have a diagnosis from Western medicine. And I keep getting told over and over again that you're fine. I'm not fine. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. Why would I subject myself to the
Yes.
cost? Just the cost of being in this room with you for 3.56 minutes for you to tell me that nothing's happening.
Exactly.
Something is happening. I am an educated woman. I am connected to my body in more ways than probably this doctor could ever be in a lot of cases.
Mhm.
And I'm just got sick and tired of having no answers when I wasn't feeling well. I mean, I just turned 40. The amount of things that I have been dealing with in my body that are by no means chronic, but I don't feel great. I don't want to not feel great. And I think
Yeah.
this is important. And I'll come back to the functional medicine, but at a meta view, what drives me on the health front are two things. One, I went through a major health crisis with my mom. My mom got a liver transplant in her 50s, or yeah, early 50s. And I watched her that slow decline and watched her. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy to go through that and to see how far the body can be pushed to literal brink of death and then survive and recover is just nothing but a miracle to me. Okay.
Mhm.
So I watched that happen. And the biggest lesson that came out of it is nobody's coming to rescue me. I was watching her learn, like basically with the results of not knowing that she could prioritize her own health and her own self care. And then there's a spiritual baton that got passed to me
Mhm.
of like, I am my greatest keeper. Like, no, I am the best person to take care of me, and it is my divine responsibility to do so.
Yes.
Huge, huge to get that at 26. That then led to, I had this perspective given to me. It was through, I don't know if it was like a article or a story or something, but I heard somebody say that there will come a day that you will be on your deathbed and the time will come for you and your body to part ways. This body, this vessel
Mhm.
that has been given to you as a soul to live out this life. And there will be a time that you have to part ways.
Yes.
And that just gets so deep into my heart space of just like what a privilege it is to have this body. And it is my honor to take care of her, exquisite care of her along the way. That
Yes.
is in the most mundane ways of having to call insurance, to cutting vegetables instead of cutting a piece of bread, to really listening to her when she's channeling beautiful poems and other creativity moving around this life. It's just our bodies are everything for this
Yes.
life.
It's our temple.
So
Literally, your body
it
is your
is.
temple. Yes.
It is if you choose it to be. Otherwise, it can also be a trash can.
Exactly.
And a suitcase that carries around everything from
All
every day you've ever lived without letting
all
a
the way.
thing go.
Yeah. All the way.
And that has a cost. The body decays with that kind of weight on it. Like
Exactly.
it's hard to carry that around. So I share that in the context of the functional medicine because when I see a new space open up in the health space, and it's been around for like 20 or so, probably more years.
Mhm.
I get really excited, especially as an Aquarian, because the more technology that becomes available, and especially if we're leveraging it to live longer and to educate ourselves with more information than any generation previous to us has ever had access to, ever, ever.
Right.
Even just being able to afford it or having the time and space, being a child free person, being able to focus on my health is a huge privilege. But I also want to live as an example of what else is possible in taking care of my body and letting it be a vessel for something bigger than me.
Mhm.
So, yeah, functional medicine is a vehicle for that. And I'm really grateful to my doctor. I've been able to just have this like confidant that actually hears me and actually cares about me living well, living optimally, even,
Yeah.
not just getting by, which I
Yeah.
love. I'm so grateful.
And, listening to you talk about it, it brings me back to the doctors going having appointments and them not listening to what you're saying is happening to your body. I've had that happen to where they're not listening. Literally,
Yeah.
I've been growing hair out my chin since I was 16, 17. And I just got diagnosed this year with PCOS. The fact that I now have a doctor that is listening to what I'm saying and listening to
Ugh,
what I'm explaining is happening to my body is amazing. She's a Black doctor, by the way. That also helps
incredible, right?
helps
Yes.
tremendously
Huge.
because the smallest things make the difference in that. Example, smallest thing earlier this year, I had my second fibroid procedure. It was non-invasive, but I basically they put me under. I also have the waist beads, wear them, to track my weight, but I also think they're cute. And so when you have your procedures, you got to take everything off. You got to take your earrings, your glasses. You got a pacemaker. They're asking everything. And I told them, I was like, well, I have these waist beads. And I was like, oh, is there any metal? I'm like, no, they're beads, they're plastic, whatever. And so the nurse had this issue. Oh, we're probably going to have to cut those, yada, yada. And talking to my doctor, she was like, we're going to keep them on. She
Well,
understood what the waist beads were and understood that they weren't gonna mess with a non-invasive, which means I'm not getting cut,
right.
procedure.
Right.
The
Yeah.
smallest things matter when it comes to having a doctor that's gonna listen to you, having a Black doctor, having someone who is in the medical field and is really taking your health seriously so that you can take your health seriously. Because
Mhm.
a lot of times I've been to appointments with adults, with grown adults, and they may not be very truthful with what they have going on. And I have to sit up here and say,
Yeah.
"You're not gonna you're not gonna tell them that you smoke 3 times a day?" I mean, and
It's so real crazy to
that
me, like, it's really wild.
yeah, yeah, but that makes a difference. So
It does.
I say that because yes, I'm saying that, we want a truthful doctor, but we also have to be truthful with the doctor, with what we're going on and having having issues, having procedures, drinking casually or every day. Yes, these matter in them prescribing you medication and like how long life expectancy could be is the key word because again if you have issues you can change them. It just takes one decision each and every day and that's to show up.
Yeah. I think an important distinction, of course, is that the stuff that you and I have been dealing with, we have had the opportunity for that. I
Yeah.
also know that there's a lot of health issues that folks deal with that, like, can't exactly be changed through diet and exercise alone or
Yeah.
like mindset stuff. So we see you too. And I send so much love. And my prayer is that we all can find easy access to healthcare, first of all,
First.
that it doesn't cost so fucking much.
Oh
Excuse
my
my
gosh.
language. And the third, if anything, because our tax dollars could be paying for our Medicare or for our medical care.
Yes, it can.
And third, yes. And third, within that system, that you find people that really see you. And it is possible. It's kind of like I equate it to like, and maybe this is an oversimplification, and please forgive me if it is, but finding a therapist. Like finding a therapist sometimes takes work. I mean, I'm in that process right now where
Yeah.
you're interviewing them as much as they're interviewing you to see if it's a good fit, and then the costs and the schedules and the communication styles. And it's just like, oh my God, it's so much. So I understand, like, on the doctor's front, that it's not just so easy. I mean, I've gotten great recommendations from other women in my life,
Mhm.
especially on the perimenopause front, only to call the office. And it's a woman like that I really sound like I would really align with. And then only to find out that they're not accepting new patients because they're entirely overloaded. You know what I mean? And
Overloaded.
then on and on it goes. So I'm with you on that. It's hard. But I'm also holding space that we can have incredible people in our corner to help us make marked changes in our health for the better. We deserve that. We deserve that.
We do, we do, and I appreciate you bringing that up because we are privileged to have the access to find what we need to handle our health, and a
Yeah.
lot of people are not that privileged. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you saying that. We do see you. We do hold space for you, and all the love for sure.
Yeah. I mean, even the functional medicine stuff it's not covered through insurance typically at all. It's
And
out of pocket.
it's expensive, like you said, it's expensive.
And the doctor that I have, like, really cares about making it as accessible as possible. So she's, like, found really cool ways to, like, get your lab work without the, like, price hike that functional medicine typically comes with, which is another reason why I just respect her so much as, like, a woman leader out there, making it
Yeah.
more accessible.
'Cause that's a lot of blood work, right?
I wouldn't say a lot, it's strategic, and it's not always blood work. It can be other ways that they get, the
Okay,
information they need. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be more insightful and give you far more information than Western medicine typically does.
okay,
But yeah, there's
okay.
just this part of the conversation, it's a perfect microcosm of all of the tentacles and all the things that we need to be thinking about, all the moving pieces, all of the things to overcome, and just sitting down with somebody who
Yes.
has intel and can like decode what's going on in your body. I think part of the tragedy of like where we've landed with our health. I mean, let's not even get started on the food system and the stress that we're all dealing with on a daily basis in this country. Literally can't even go there right now.
Please
But
stop.
the
Oh my
like we
gosh.
can't even do that. But just like we should know more about our bodies. We should be learning more at a younger age about
Yeah.
what is going on in our bodies and teach it in a more relevant way that actually hits the ground level of our lives. How about making better food available at schools? That alone, and more education around like, what are our emotions doing? How do we navigate our emotions? How do we learn how to do practical things with money? There's just so much that compounds that we then have to unpack later, especially as eldest daughters who are leading the charge most of the time and don't necessarily all the time have great support around them to be learning these things. And then it's just like at 40, I think of all of the literal thousands of dollars over the last
Oh.
15 years that I've invested into my health just to feel better. Not even like I've hit points of thriving for sure, but
Mhm.
it's just so much to carry. It's so much to manage. It's so much to afford and budget for and figure out room for. And that's just getting in the door. Then it's like all the lifestyle changes. So I don't want to overwhelm us. I'm just speaking to what we carry all of the time and to acknowledge that that is part of the stress. And for you to know that you're not alone, like there's a lot of us that are very savvy, very smart, that we're figuring out so much as we go. And unfortunately,
Yes.
that is a norm for right now. But I just think about what we're making possible for future generations. Like you, Kanisha, like tackling diabetes at a younger age
Yeah.
as much as you can. I mean, what does that open up for your future generations? And then how are the young ones watching how you're moving through the world and taking care of your health and moving your body? It would have been so game changing to see like an aunt that was like going for hikes and stuff. Like that just was
Yeah.
not part of my reality, you know?
It really is just being me and prioritizing myself and just opening the eyes for my nieces and nephews, even my cousins, they're in their early
Yeah.
20s. And
Yes.
me and my cousin, we have the Apple Fitness, and so we would do some of the classes to either
Nice.
together, or we'll do it and then like share it. Like, "Oh, man, sharing was rough today," because I've talked about breaking generational curses, cycles, and breaking those traumas. It really is a reward to see other people in my family take their health seriously, whether they're working out, going to the therapist, eating right, not drinking, not smoking. Like, it really lets me know that, okay, somebody is watching and somebody is
Yeah.
learning from me. To me, that is more fulfilling than any other gift that you could like monetize gift. It's way more fulfilling to me.
It's so special, Kanisha. I'm so proud of
Yeah.
you for prioritizing your health. Like the things that we've had to claw through and overcome to get to this point of vibrancy and health. I mean, it's been a lot of work, but
Yeah.
there is another side to it where we
Yeah.
can be feeling better.
For sure. For me, therapy took me to be more vulnerable and share these because I ain't
True.
want to talk about my body with y'all. Like, I don't know these people. They gonna judge me. They gonna do this, do that. Like, who the excuse my language. I don't give a fuck anymore because
Yeah.
I'm not the only person going through this. It's a whole bunch, including the two women on this podcast, that are
Yeah.
dealing with health issues, health scares. A lot of women, especially Black women, I know at least four in my phone right now dealing with fibroids or dealing with some reason they have to go to the doctor every 2 to 3 months to get a biopsy. Like, it is becoming normal to have these conversations, and we should
Yeah.
not be afraid to have the conversations because you could learn something and it could help you or the next person.
It's everything. It is everything that we're talking more about our inner worlds and our body.
Yes.
There's a lot that goes on throughout the day that you wouldn't know looking straight at somebody, you know?
Mhm.
And just this morning, I saw there's a new documentary coming out about perimenopause. What really struck me about that, okay, the documentary is called Balance, A Perimenopause Journey. It's a four-part docu-series confronting what women have been told to endure quietly for too long. Girl, it's just like these conversations where we're opening up and talking more about what has gone in silence for our entire lives. But then when it comes to like perimenopause and menopause, how much do you know about that from your family of women?
Listen, real quick story. 2023, me and my cousin and my auntie, we went to Vegas to see Usher because we love
As you
Usher.
do.
And
Okay.
we shared a room, and the room was so damn cold. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, why is it so cold? My auntie was dealing with hot flashes. She was dealing
Poor
like she
thing.
was I was like five covers on me shivering. And like I was so cold. But it only took 2, 3 years later, I gotta keep a fan in the car, in the house, in my
Right?
book bag. I barely go outside in the winter with a jacket on because the hot flashes hit me so bad. So I'm learning with them, honestly. My
Right?
aunties, we're
Yeah.
dealing with the hot flashes. We're dealing with the just the body weight, the weight just, everywhere or not coming off or not really,
Hmm.
your clothes fit a little different. You can't eat everything.
Yeah.
it's kind
Yeah.
of hard for me to eat a lot of like I don't eat chicken or beef I mean chicken or pork anymore, but it's kind of hard for me to even smell that now. Like stuff like
Mm.
really your hormones are different. Shit, I feel like I learn something new every day about perimenopause.
Every
Honestly.
single day. And I'm always like, keep it coming, y'all. Keep it coming. Let's keep talking
Yes.
about this. I, more than anything, am so shocked, genuinely shocked that at 40, I'm sorry, but any perimenopause or menopause conversation was way into your 50s. Okay. That was my orientation to it. And then over the last 2 years, 38 and 39, I'm just like, what the hell? Why is it so hard to sleep? Why do
Yeah.
I have to
Oh my.
stack the supplements in order to get through the night? And then it's like I track backwards this weight gain that I had in 2020, which I honestly just chalked up to like the stress of the world. Hello, 2020 was a friggin' nightmare for a lot of us.
Oh,
Like it was
well, it
nuts.
was a vacation compared to now, honestly.
Oh God, I don't know about
But
that,
yeah.
but it was a lot to deal with. So I'm like, okay, it must have been that. And then I was also going through a lot of stress in 2019 and 2020, life-wise, breakup, moving back with my parents, financial stress, like it was just hitting. Okay. But then at 38, I'm just like, I cannot lose this weight no
Oh,
matter what I do. I was changing my diet. I was working with a functional medicine doctor. I was doing full on protocols and I would get no more than like, I think at the max, it was 10 pounds. And that would come back in with a vengeance the minute my period hit. Like it was just not sticking. So I started getting perspective on this. I'm like, oh, maybe this is like perimenopause, but I'm like 38. There's a 3 in front of my age. Like, how in the
exactly.
world is that happening? And then just this year, joint pain, hella
Mhm.
migraines. Migraines used to only be menstrual migraines for me. I also started a GLP-1 because I need there's okay, on the weight conversation, it can be very
Yeah, it can be.
difficult to talk about, and we all have our own experiences. I am only going to speak from my own.
Yeah.
I am an athlete at heart. To carry 30, 40 plus extra pounds on my body is painful on a very deep level for me. If I, in my inner world, is like, and my body felt so settled and so happy at that weight, I unpacked it to a point of like, I accept this. I am
Mhm.
okay. I am worthy. I still feel beautiful. I can still be out and hike and do all the things, right? But I am very deeply unsettled. This is not where my body wants to be. So it is a very painful reality to not be able to fix it and to help my body. She is calling out for something that I cannot decode. And that is a very, very deeply frustrating thing for me. So I turned to the GLP-1 because also genetically high cholesterol, that's hitting with a vengeance for me. Again, 30 something, and I'm dealing with high cholesterol and facing the reality of maybe getting on cholesterol meds, but I'm just like,
Mhm.
it doesn't hit all the points. My A1C is not in high territory, but like from a functional medicine perspective, it's higher than we want it to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So there were certain things that getting on that, I'm just now starting to feel shifts, but it also takes such lifestyle, support, mental health support, all the things. But all that to say, like, I did not realize that the weight gain, the migraines, the joint pain that I'm still dealing with in a major way was all like hormone.
Yes, everything
So
is
like
hormonal.
everything is hormonal and my
Oh,
luteal
it's
phase is
ridiculous.
hitting. Yeah, my luteal phase is hitting so much harder right before my period
Yeah.
than it ever has. And it really takes a toll on your quality of life. And that's with the perimenopause folks that I follow. Dr. Mary Claire Haver is phenomenal. She wrote the New Menopause book.
Mhm.
She's a wonderful follow for this. And then she's connected to so many other doctors. You'll find a lot other incredible women doctors by following her. She is just like, they're just granting so much permission to consider things through a new lens and to also get support. So I'm now like seeking support through possible hormone replacement therapy, which I just sincerely did not think that I would even be considering that for another like 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
But the symptoms have just hit in a way where I'm just like, this is not me. This is not normal. This is really hard.
I've heard a lot of people talk about HRT. And I at this at this point, I think what I've been really looking to do with the perimenopause is just kind of balancing the hormone. So
Yeah,
what I've started doing, I don't know if you are familiar with maca root.
I am familiar with it. Yeah.
Okay. So that is something that I've kind of been using, West Side Market, they be having all the
Herbs and
nutrients and herbs and all that. So I got a bag of that, and that's the only bag that I've really finished because I my other bottle. I have them over here just in case.
nice.
I do that with for it's basically my PCOS drink. I have my PCOS tincture. The maca root it's to balance your female hormones. 'Cause it's 2. It's like the red maca root is for the women. I can't remember the color for the men. But basically it helps with your hormones, PMS, it helps with your libido, your improves your women health, if you get what
Mhm.
I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, if I can let's just try and see how this
Yeah.
has helped me. And I feel like if I don't drink it, I have more of an emotional day, I'll say that.
Okay.
I wouldn't say it's the main piece, but it balances those hormones that kind of help with the female hormones and balancing them and bringing those into a better, smoother way for you to live.
Mhm.
But I am curious, like if you do try it, let me know, like the HRT, because
Sure.
I know we talked more about, like, the yam stuff, but, you know, uh, it's so
There's just
much these days. You
there
can't
is.
can't do a lot. You can do all of
Well,
it
and there's a
because,
threshold.
again.
Yeah, there's just a threshold where it's like, how many I start to get overwhelmed of like, how many things am I going to trial and error all at the same time? And they do come with a cost, like literal cost. And then luckily, I do have like the functional medicine doctor as a guide. And she has so much wisdom on what helps what
Yeah.
and using natural ingredients to do that. And at a certain point, she was like, we've done our groundwork. We've done it.
Mhm.
So I think the next step is the GLP-1 and see how it goes. I'm still kind of in that process of discovery. To your point, there are a lot of things out there that, can help. And at the end of the day, it is up to you and your body. Listen to your body. I am definitely somebody to experiment and try taking out something, putting something in to see if I can feel better. But
Yeah.
with this kind of thing, I think the thing that concerns me the most is just the impact on my mental health that it's having. And that's where I'm like, okay, this has been enough months of this where I'm like, I need the professionals to come in and help me?
Exactly. And I think we were gonna say the same thing. I was definitely gonna say what works for you because, again, everybody's body is different, and just because the maca root works for me doesn't mean it would work for you.
Yeah,
And it could, bring something else, into the forefold. And so, yeah, I appreciate you saying that because it could be a lot for somebody, especially everybody has some kind of supplement to help with this or with that. And it's like all these medicines come with a cost, literally and figuratively. And they kind of mess with your body. A lot of side effects do occur depending on what you're actually, doing to keep your health intact. We're just here to just kind of be a vessel to share what could be possible. And I just want to just take a moment to say what we're saying may work for us, but do your research to see
definitely.
what works with you. And if you have a trusted doctor, also talk with them about it as well.
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. This is where, and we've talked about this in a variety of different ways in other episodes, and we will keep saying it. You deserve support. You deserve the opportunity to ask for help. And if you don't get the answer that you're looking for, or answer that you don't know you're looking for, but will help you, keep asking. This
Keep
system
asking.
is not built for us to thrive within. And so taking our health in our own hands is a very literal idea. Like, we have to be
Mhm.
our own advocates for what it is that we need to see happen for our health. And if you do not find it, we are saying over here, like, keep going, girl. Like, let's go, keep going, because you
Can't
really deserve to be met there.
can't find it at the first doctor, find another doctor that can help you with that because it also could be the doctor. You want to have a doctor that you can trust and talk to about your ailments and how to make you and your body better.
Yeah. Also, I've said this advice. I've said I've given this tool before, or encouragement before. But follow your gut. Listen to your body. Listen to your body. She knows what's up. They know what's up. So
Yeah.
keep listening. And I think a great place also to kind of land with all of the places that we went today is also talking about, like, what practices and connections to your body do you cultivate to stay in touch and to keep listening?
Practices and mindsets. I start in the morning with just kind of meditating for a moment. If it's just for 5 minutes, just sitting there. No phone. If I have to lay in my bed, I'm fine with that. But
Love it.
I need to start with some kind of calmness before I bring myself into whatever the world has going on this day. But I also am starting to eat more for my blood type, which
Nice.
I know we talked more about
Hmm.
this, but when I went to the hair doctor earlier this year, we really kind of talked through how I can bring more nutrients in and what works for my body. And she suggested, hey, why don't you like start eating for your blood type, see how that helps with your body, with your health. And that's where I started eating no chicken, no pork, and a lot of alcohol and stuff. I may do a drink every now and then, but not every day. So bringing food as eating all colors of the food. I've been really incorporating a lot of beet, which if you're a beet eater,
I know it's coming next.
you know what's gonna come.
Don't be
I'm not even
alarmed.
gonna say
Don't be
it.
alarmed.
But that's part of the like, I have to when that happened, I have to be like, "Oh, yeah, I had beats today. I had beats within the last 24, 48 hours." So, things are
Yep.
gonna occur that looks a little different. So, just being mindful, like, okay, I think one of the things that I've really struggled with the last couple months of this year is eating. And it's not I don't wanna say I don't think I have an issue. Really am not really hungry a lot of times.
Mhm.
And I have to force myself to eat. And forcing myself to eat, I have to make sure I'm eating colorful foods to get the nutrients, getting the fiber, the protein, getting what I need from my body. And so eating colorful foods, meditating in the morning, drinking my drinks, making sure I'm drinking my water and and listening to my body for sure are the practices that I've begun. What about you?
Yeah. Those are beautiful, by the way. It's so
Thank
cool
you.
to see. Because we talk about this a lot, we're very health focused. So this is always a part of our
Yeah.
conversations, like checking in with each other. How are you feeling? Like, how's that going? So
Mhm.
I would even, let's start with that. Like, talking more with your friends about what's going on with your body, wins that you have. Celebrate the wins. Oh my gosh,
Yes.
please celebrate the wins, because we're doing so much work every
Yes.
day, all day long. Can we please celebrate where we're feeling good? That today was a high energy day. I felt super clear mentally. I was super productive in the ways that I wanted to be. I slept well. I worked out, you know, and then also the
Yeah.
hardships. So definitely having community on the health front is very helpful. Just like we are today, like sharing some of the stuff that you're just like, what the heck is going on? Helps to,
Yeah.
normalize it. And I think part of why we've been so in the dark on the women's health front is because we have been like on our own with it and feeling shame or whatever it is to not share with people and keep it all to ourselves. And it just piles on, y'all. It just becomes more to
Mhm.
carry. Let's keep sharing with each other. Some other
Mhm.
things notice that when I really prioritize time and space to make a really yummy, high protein, high fiber breakfast in the morning, I feel so good throughout the day. I just,
Really?
otherwise, when I don't, yeah, when I don't, I feel like I am chasing food all day because I just get hungry so much quicker, so much more often. And I really don't like that feeling. I like when food can be like made and enjoyed, be present with it as much as it's always a practice. I'm no angel with this,
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
but otherwise, when food dominates everything throughout the day, like I just find it really frustrating for me personally. So that's a way on the mental health and emotional side where I just can feel physically like really satiated and nourished from the beginning. And just to give a sample of what that is, my favorite breakfast, I definitely do savory breakfast, y'all. Savory breakfast will change your life and also your like sugar levels. It really
Yeah.
helps. I usually do
What's
like
your go-to?
eggs. Yeah, I do eggs. Sometimes it's like a veggie scramble. So I'll throw some peppers and onions in there or zucchini and onion into the eggs. I'll have half a sweet potato, a side of veggies or fruit. So I'll cut up an apple or have a banana. And then also I follow that with some protein powder, like a protein shake, which that could be a lot for some people. It really, really works for me. And if I can get into that, like I do try and track the protein. So like 50 and 60 grams of protein right out the gate. I'm telling you, it changes my day.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely agree with the protein shakes in the morning. I've seen how my energy just kind of, especially like after workout protein shake,
It's just hits. It
it
hits.
just hits different
I'm
for
just
sure.
like, I'm taking on the world today. Don't try and stop me. Don't get in my way. Okay.
Exactly, exactly. I definitely have seen that difference with that. I have to try that. Never had I have had sweet potatoes for breakfast. I have done like a sweet potato hash
Yeah.
with like the
Super
eggs
good.
and
Oh, with
the
the eggs on
yeah,
top.
it's
Oh my
so
God.
good.
Yes. It's delicious.
Yes, yeah,
So that on the
I
food front
love
really
that.
helps. Always having snacks with me. That's a huge one. I am the snack lady. I will always have really high quality whole food snacks of some kind or like really nice protein bars or something. I always keep water with me, electrolytes and stuff. And that
Mhm.
just, it gets me out of the mindset of like stress to be like panic because like I have food sensitivities. So I can't just pull up to a drive through or, find
True.
good options a lot of times. So that's part of how I care for my body throughout the day to just like take that extra time to prepare. And it is. It's sometimes like I will be late to things in order to have the snacks prepared because I know I'm just going to need it. And of course, it saves money of me like scrambling to try to find food when I need it.
Nice.
And the last thing I'll share is I would say like spiritual connection is amazing for feeling good in my body and just good about myself. And that comes in the form of like journaling, nature walks, where I just take the time to like connect to something bigger than me. Sometimes I'll talk to my higher self of like, what's up? What's coming down the
Mhm.
pipeline? What creatively is like knocking on my door that I can make space for. Sometimes it's talking to like the divine God. Sometimes it's talking to like my spirit team. And it's just doing, I'm not sitting and meditating necessarily, but it's like as I'm driving, as I'm taking a nature walk, it's really just the intention behind it.
Yeah,
But I find
yeah.
that when I feel connected spiritually, I feel purposeful in my body. There's like a fulfillment where I don't feel like I'm so in the 3D of just the stress of it all and the gotta go here, gotta go there. Just you get into that mode and it kind of drags me down a little bit. So that's what really picks me up again.
I adore that so much because, since I've been back in Ohio, I've been out here on these trails.
Yeah.
And I have this one not too far from the house that I consider my hidden gem. You have like the nature walk but they also have a trail. They basically have the wooded area, and in the
Nice.
wooded area, I usually go in there and, give me a nice little scream out.
Oh,
Sometimes it's necessary
yes. Good for
to get
you.
a scream out, but also just sometimes just sitting there.
Yeah.
I've done nature walks with a mentor here. Like, we've walked through, like, the park, and just she'll notice, like, "Oh, this is a portal." Just looking at how beautiful nature is and how it brings us into ourselves and brings
Yeah.
us so much clarity with what we want to do, who we are, what could be possible. And I'm so grateful back in 2020 that even though I was scared that I had gotten this pre-diabetic diagnosis, but it jump started me to start walking.
Oh,
Used to
right?
In Alabama, I used to live on a really steep hill, and I would walk up and down that hill to the park on the trail, and I come back, maybe like a 50-minute walk, maybe if that.
Nice.
But just toning into that side of me that I've never been a walker. I've been athletic. I didn't even like to run, honestly.
Yeah.
But
And we did a lot of it.
we did a lot of sprints and suicides and all kind of stuff, but just having that moment out in nature, I'll see signs of cardinals, or I'll see a
Yeah.
bluebird, or
Yes.
a rabbit is hopping around somewhere.
Makes me so
To
happy.
me, that's what I'm to me, that's like spirit. That's
It is.
someone coming to show me, like, I am here for you. I am here with you, especially the cardinals. The cardinals here,
Oh.
they stay around here, and I love that because that
Mhm.
shows protection, that shows that someone in the spiritual realm is looking and protecting me and making sure that I'm good. So I definitely agree with that part
Yeah, it's so
for
special
sure.
to have those reminders that our body truly is a vehicle for us in this life, but it's not
Mhm.
just to be used, it's to be enjoyed and communed with. And I love that, you and Miss Tekka walking, it's like you get to see nature through her eyes too. And to see the world
Yes.
through each other's eyes is just one of the most magical. I mean, if that doesn't zoom you out into an
Mhm.
arena of purpose in the mundane, I don't know what does. I mean, it's just so special.
And it brings it back to your first initial mindset. It's to have those moments with your friends, with your community,
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
check in.
Yes.
Everything don't have to be texting on the phone.
No, no,
Sometimes you
please.
can take a walk,
Mhm.
sometimes
Mhm.
you can meet for coffee, or sit in the park. You don't have, but that movement, because I've dealt with depression, I've dealt with anxiety. Movement helped me a lot with those.
Yeah,
It
doesn't it?
really does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So get some movement if you have to shake it out, because I shook it out before I got on the call.
Yeah, we both did.
Like, that movement helps because depression can't hit a moving target. If you're moving,
Mm,
getting it,
powerful.
I would definitely suggest that for sure, for sure.
Beautiful.
And I wanted to round this out with asking, we're prioritizing our health. How did prioritizing your health negatively affect you? What's your hardship?
Yes. So, on that front, it's the grief, of realizing that I learned more about neglecting my body than I did caring for my body. And that just, like, it hits in a deep way because what could I have been spending my days with doing, if I wasn't fighting towards wellness in my body? What could I have been creating? What could I have
Yeah.
been, living out? But I don't hold regret about that, but it is like a grief to be honored that it could have been different, but your parents do the best you can, your community does the best you can. And if we also aren't growing up in a community that doesn't don't know that we can talk about these things, or maybe we tried and it didn't go well, it puts it back on us to discover it ourselves. And so I account for that as like part of my spiritual journey, part of my body healing journey. And I'm very, very, very grateful for it. And it kind of sucks.
Yeah, it does kinda suck. I think also one of my hardships is not wanting to talk about it um, because either I was, like, embarrassed or I felt,
Mm,
pride really kinda gets in the way of things. But also, I think a lot of times, especially Black women, we don't talk about these moments. We don't talk about, what could be possible have, um, if we prioritize our health, if we eat right. I think seeing my mom, because my mom did have fibroids when she had the twins, but I think that was my first little piece of like, oh,
mm,
this could happen to me.
gotcha.
And I kept asking every year with my doctor, like, okay, could this be possible? I found another doctor. I'll just say that.
Mm,
Uh, learning how to for my initial hardship was working through slightly body dysmorphia. And I didn't look at it like I had it until I actually looked up body dysmorphia. I think I
yeah.
saw it on a post or something. But I would go to the gym, and I went to the gym like every day. I was looking good, back was not big. I felt really good, overall, but for some reason I took a turn. I took a turn and I stopped really going to the gym. Of course, when you stop doing something, you gain more weight, it comes back. And a lot of times I would be out with friends or people and like, oh, you done put weight back on. You done did that, kind of mess with my
Mm,
mindset, like, oh shit, I need to get back in the gym. I need to do hard. I need to do
mm,
this. And I had to stop myself
yeah.
because if I'm comfortable with my body, if I'm comfortable with my workout level, I should not have to worry or hear nobody else's thoughts should be more important than how I prioritize myself.
Amen.
And it took a lot, but, I still got my pouch. I feel comfortable with myself. And I know that if I want to work out, I can take a walk. Me and Pearl can go out, get us a walk. I don't have to overwhelm myself with going to the gym because I feel like now it is overwhelming for me to go to the gym.
Mm,
But I've started incorporating YouTube, Apple Fitness to get workouts done.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
that would definitely be my hardship. I've really never really talked about that because it took me so long to figure out if that's what I was dealing with, you
Mhm,
know?
mhm, I do.
And at this point, I'm just proud of myself for even acknowledging it
Yeah.
and knowing that I'm safe with myself. I'm comfortable with myself. I know what I can do when I put my mind to it. I know how I am making changes with my health outside of working out, meaning
Right.
supplements, eating vegetables, fruit when they're fresh, eating healthier foods, which I'm becoming more pescatarian, vegetarian now. So
Yeah.
just making those healthy choices for sure, outside of going to the gym and picking up weights.
I am really, really grateful that you shared that. I relate in my own way. I think body dysmorphia can be incredibly disorienting and confusing. And I'm also, what you shared shows also how our relationship to our body evolves over time, and how you can never know or understand from the outside just looking at the surface of what is going
Yeah,
on in someone's world, let alone their relationship to their body. I've taken a
yeah.
practice of I try not to actively try not to comment on women's bodies, even if it's
Mm,
great, because it just reinforces that it's the first thing that's the most important to people and what they think and what they see. And it's like, I think by doing that, I'm also taking my own power back, because so much was focused externally on how I looked. And those comments, those freaking comments right out the gate of
oh
how
my
my
god.
body changed. And that really messed with my mind, especially growing up as a young girl. So I'm
Yeah.
really just I feel super tender that you shared that and that you've gone through that. And I'm just really proud of you for taking back your power from that and doing your thing. It's you. You've got it.
Thank
If
you.
anybody's gonna get it, you get it. You got
Yes.
it. Like,
Yes. And that's why I have to tell myself that's why I say, like, it takes one decision every day just to
yeah,
show up
yeah.
in the smallest ways,
They all count.
it does matter
It
for
does.
sure. Every win is not gonna be a big win. Sometimes it's just the small ones that add up to be the bigger wins, honestly.
Yeah. That is act those are signs of love towards yourself. Try and tell me that
Exactly.
doesn't matter. It matters so much, you
Exactly.
know?
It matters a lot for sure. So, outside of the negative effect, how did prioritizing your health help you grow? What was the blessing?
Oh my gosh, the blessing is absolutely that my body is my bestie.
Bestie
She's my
for
bestie
the
girl.
restie.
I got her, and I will listen, like, I will throw down. You try and fuck with my body or,
Okay.
like, tell her something, I just have this, like, inner mama bear, warrior side to me, right? Like, we've been through too much to be disrespected or, like, treated badly or talked down to. I love having her
Yeah,
back. She's got mine, clearly, literally.
literally. Okay.
And I just love taking care of her. I think that's a huge blessing.
Yes.
I cannot tell you women, in my life who have ever talked about their body like that. It is truly polar opposite from that, actually. So I
I
just love
love
her.
that.
I'm so grateful.
And
What
your
about
body
you?
should be your bestie for sure.
Yeah.
I definitely I definitely had to show up for myself.
Yeah.
I talked about eating right and eating enough meal prep.
Yeah. Ugh.
I think we both do really
Meal
good.
prep. Yes.
We haven't gotten into it, but we definitely work through taking that time for ourselves to meal prep, to, make sure that we have food for the house. And just working out feels so good to my body.
Yeah.
Um, it's when I cycle, I don't wanna say when I cycle, like, when I'm sweating, like, the sweat coming off just it's like I'm releasing stress. I'm releasing, what no longer serves me.
Beautiful.
Also, this year I started doing the contrast therapy where I go to
Yeah.
the sauna and do
Mhm.
the cold plunge. That also has really been a big blessing for me because, like I said, the sweat, just like releasing those toxins really helped me. But the cold plunge, now a lot of people that, we don't like to get in cold water, take cold showers and that, but the cold plunge has really helped with my nerve in my leg. Like, it really has helped with
Wow.
the procedure I had for my ruptured patella tendon because I used to have, like, the jumpy nerve thing going on,
Uh-huh.
but that has
Wow.
definitely helped me. After a workout, sometimes I'll be doing sit-ups and doing poses in the sauna, so
Mhm, mhm.
those definitely helped me for sure. Those have been a really big blessing. I started that in January,
Wow.
and I've been doing it all year
A year
for
now.
sure.
Wow. That's awesome. Yeah, if you don't follow Kenesha on
Yes.
socials, by the way, she'll literally do you do the full 3 minutes now because you worked up to that. And she'll
Yes.
talk to the camera and share like helpful advice and just share about her life. And I just find it so cool because
My plunge combo, yes.
the breath control while you're submerged in like what, 40-degree water, that
40
is
degree yeah, it's like 59, 40-degree water, something
something
like
like
that.
that.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
amazing. It's very impressive, but also you get like a good dose of good vibes from Kenesha too. Do you want to share your handle just so that they can find you?
Yes, my handle on IG and TikTok, and I'll say YouTube because I have my YouTube coming.
Yeah.
Explore Her, so XPLOR. OR, her as in her, she,
Mhm.
SOL.
SOL. Great. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that this one was going to be a big one. It's definitely one of our longer conversations. And I have a feeling there's going to be more body talk because how could there not
Yes.
be, especially at our age and things? So, but yeah, if you
Mhm.
were listening and got a couple like notes of encouragement or ideas of ways to prioritize your health, like that is everything we're hoping for. We love to hear from you. So please feel free to comment on any of our socials. We always have clips of each episode coming out. So if you're excited to hear more about a topic, definitely let us know. And we would love to hear how all of this hits in your world. Also, be sure to follow us at
Yes.
Eldest Daughter Diaries Pod on Instagram. And if you ever want to email us
Mhm.
directly, if you don't want it to be like public out there, feel free to email us at Eldest Daughter Diaries at Proton. So we'll
Yes, ma'am. While listening or watching us on YouTube, IG, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, we are always looking for reviews and ratings. We would definitely appreciate a 5-star rating on any and every platform. So before we leave, we want to leave you with some journal prompts for our listeners. And the first is, how has your health defined your outlook as you've gotten older? That should be a good one. Our second is, how have you prioritized your health to align with your goals in life? What worked and what didn't?
beautiful check in to do.
What,
I love it.
yeah. So now we can close with some encouragement, advice, reflections for our listeners.
We love you. We love your body. Your body deserves the best. We're sending big hugs to you. If you are breaking through some of the norms in your family and in your community when it comes to health, just know that you are in very good company. We both have done the same. It can be a little uncomfortable at first, but at the end of the day, if you're investing in yourself to live a long, beautiful life, that will always win out as the most important priority. And you deserve that.
Amen. Amen. I second that for sure. And I am just here to say, one day at a time. Do not overwhelm yourself. Take it one day at a time. You have the ability to change your health, to prioritize your health each and every day.
We love you.
And for that, we love you and we will see y'all next time.
Bye.
Peace.